say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Happiness and kindness is a choice. Wake up.
All right. Let's see if we are hot.
Renee's hot. God level's hot.
Okay, we got King Newborn is live.
Things that people, well, I mean things that people don't want to talk about. That's hot.
All right. All right, let's put that on my page. All right, we're broadcasting on the page.
Shay, yes. Welcome everybody. Welcome.
Peace.
Welcome. Peace, everybody. Peace. Go ahead and do me a favor and go ahead and get those likes up for us.
Share. Hit that share button, y'all. Let's get the word out.
While you at it, follow us on our fan page at Things That People Don't Want to Talk About.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put that up there real quick. Join our Facebook group, y'all, if you haven't already. We're going to give it about a minute or so, allow God level to get back on. Wonderful to see y'all. Seeing those numbers go up.
Yes. Get them up. Thank you. Everybody, come on. Let's get those likes up. And what that does for us, it helps us with the algorithm. So more people can actually access this. And I know I know a lot of you are expressing to us that you enjoy this. This is something that you actually look forward to, where it's a gift to share with everyone. So we want everyone to, as many people as possible to access this show. So thank you. So get those likes up, get those loves up, help us out in that department and share it, please.
Mm-hmm. Also subscribe.
Yes, and subscribe on YouTube.
Because when you subscribe, you get a notification every time we're posting for the next show, so you won't miss it. It should pop up in your current events.
Yes. Good evening, Love Sean. Good evening.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very substantial topic this evening, especially given the engagement we've acquired from our Facebook group this week, y'all. If you are viewing this right now, you guys should really join the Things That People Don't Want to Talk About Facebook group. We got quite a bit of engagement on there. Some of the questions, we're going to go over it on this podcast. But yeah, the conversation has definitely been, it's been flaming up. It's been healthy. Everything's been healthy.
Yes.
Peace.
What's going on, brother Dre?
Salute to Dre.
Dre in the house.
What it do, family?
Yes. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for hanging in here with us. Thank you so much for that.
We're just going to give it another minute before God Level gets back on here. See if she's going to get back on here. Otherwise, we'll kind of dive into it.
Y'all know, you told them what the topic is?
Oh yeah, I meant, well, no, I didn't even say it. I didn't even say it officially. I just kind of been hinting at it. Yeah, well, I kind of been skating around it. Yeah,
you work it like you working it, brother. Work it like you working it. I know there's a method to the madness. Go ahead and work it like you working.
See out there talking about, oh, John, this your show. No, it ain't. I just threw it out there.
It's still got a slight delay, but I've even uploaded my computer. I don't know what's going on. Do I need to switch services again? Because they ain't living up to their
you're okay. I have another one in mind too if you need it, but for the most part you're okay.
Okay. I hate that we have this delay, but okay. Good evening. Did everyone already introduce themselves?
No,
Not yet. We was waiting on you. We waiting on the lady.
Thank you, and welcome to everyone to the show tonight. Thank you for logging in, checking us out. This is Things That People Don't Want to Talk About, brought to you by me, God Level. I am a mother. I am an entrepreneur. I am a nurse. I am everything good. John, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
This is John Skywalker, the Sly Talker, lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and father who has this hip hop album right here, The Law of Affirmations, streaming on all major streaming platforms. We're talking about positive, conscious, light-bearing hip hop, something that's kind of lacking in our culture, kind of. So if you're into affirmations, even if you're not, even if you don't know what it is, you should listen to that album. 5 tracks, 16 minutes, real easy to digest on your way to work, coming from work, going to work, going home, going to your homegirl. Hey, yo, if you transiting, you should be listening to this album. Salute. King Newborn, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Peace. This King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. And as always, I am. But more importantly, I am service.
All right, Diamond, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Yes. This is Saba Diamond, entrepreneur, owner, CEO of the Abode of Osar Institute of Personal Excellence. All right. Got the cards in. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned because it's launching next month. All right. Although we are officially still already taking clients, and it's good to get in now because everything is going pretty much at a discounted rate, just to get everybody going, and look forward to classes, courses, and things like that to be put up. And this ain't just no workshop where you learn how to build a couch. We're talking about mastery, self-mastery, divine evolution. We're talking about some real stuff, how to change the world. All right. So also father, lover, just celebrated my 6-year anniversary this past Friday. And so I don't think I ever stuck with something that long, but it's been very pleasurable. So so Ashe, thank you for allowing me to serve.
All right. Again, thank you to everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone that we do have Pump Up Your Business. To take our time to pump up your business, whatever it is that you have, clothing, shoes, purses, or whatever type of service that you offer, you can advertise your business for free here on our show at no cost to you. Free 99. All right.
Free 99. I love it.
Tonight's topic is forgiveness.
Let's start with just a little bit of background information. What inspired you, motivated you to accept forgiveness as the topic?
Because that's something that we all need to learn to do, because we hold on to a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people that hold on, that hold grudges, that and ever since I knew that we were doing this topic, I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little triggered all week. Like, well, who am I not forgiving?
I love it.
Okay, let's a little bit more with that. A little bit more. All right, because this is the thing. This is the premise. We all experience this. Okay, that what you just said, right? The
a grudge.
Right. So
and not forgiving someone for something that they have did to us.
So what's the motivation? What's the effect of that? Like it is, because obviously we're only doing it because there's some sort of benefit. So what is the benefit of holding a grudge?
The benefit of holding the grudge, oh God. There is no benefit.
Really?
I think the benefit is trying to prove the fact whether you are right or not in your mind or your perspective.
Yes, I'll take that.
Okay, all right, I like that.
I'll take that. Or is there people out there that you have not forgiven?
Me personally,
Yeah.
No. Forgiveness. It might take a little while, but in some instances, but typically, I make an effort. To get through it. You know, to initiate the process and to finish the process. So I understand it is a process, and for some they might stall or retard the process. But me personally, I'm motivated to go through it. Now, I also understand that there's a caveat here where forgiving too quickly, too hastily can lead to an effect in and of itself as well. So it's like, dang, you didn't even give it a chance to. Like there is that out there, that there is for such a thing as forgiving too quickly or being too quick. Yeah, that's a thing.
Well, let me ask you this, because that brings up a question for me. What is forgiveness to you? What are you doing when you're forgiving? Yeah, what is that?
Let's start there.
Yeah.
What does you know what? The phone lines is open.
Yeah.
To anyone who wants to answer this question, what does forgiveness mean to you?
But not just what it means. I'm saying, what is the act of forgiveness? What are you actually doing when you're forgiving? What are you doing? Walk me through what forgiveness is. What are you doing when you're forgiving?
John, before you answer that, I just want to throw this little tidbit to add to what Sabada is directly alluding to, which I'm assuming. So I've been having some personal one-on-one with Sabada, and first and foremost, when you say you got peace, you're holding yourself accountable to your understanding. And when you're holding yourself accountable to your understanding, you can't project that the person that you're talking to or the person that you're dealing with has the same understanding. Sometimes a person could be on the first grade level, somebody else could be on the third grade level. And because of the levels are different, the information may be received differently due to their understanding. So even when you get to the point of trying to forgive somebody that you feel like hurt, harm, disrespected you, or didn't understand what it was that you were trying to convey, this is where you hold yourself accountable and be like, hold on, first and foremost, let me forgive myself, because I'm projecting a certain understanding on them in order for me to receive the response or the reaction or the understanding back that I'm projecting. And that could be the backside of not communicating. When you're communicating, you don't get to a point where you do the agree to disagree, because if you disagree, you never took the time out to even understand the other person's point of view and where they're coming from. That right there within itself can be a level of forgiving, not just them, but yourself first and foremost. Allow yourself to be taught and to be a student in the same conversation, because no one person knows the rules and regulations to the other person's lifestyle, how they move, how they interact, how they deal with pain. So I'm saying all to say that because of tonight's topic of forgiveness, big shout out to my elder Sabada for helping me understand that I am not held responsible for how another person perceives me. I'm only responsible how King Newborn carry himself. As long as I live by my morals and principles, rules and regulations that are guidelines that I use to govern myself accordingly, I always will be in my righteous mind.
So somebody was listening. Peace and love to you, beloved. Somebody was listening in our conversations.
Always do, sir. Always do.
Shay. Oh man. So now I would really love for John and God Level to tell me what are you doing when you're forgiving?
Letting go. Releasing.
That's it. That's it.
So if that's the truth, Now I just got to challenge what you just said.
I knew it was coming.
Then why is there a too soon to let it go? Why is there a too soon for it?
All right. So in that process, there is the transgressor. We have to say transgressor because there's this implied understanding that someone violated you, wronged you, crossed a boundary, right? So there is a too soon because of the accountability element. So even though for me, and this is the common saying, forgiveness is for you, not the other person per se. Yeah. So if it's for me forgiving the person or me forgiving the person too soon implies that I'm not necessarily holding them accountable. So I'm done with the feelings, the bitterness, the resentment, the feelings of vengefulness, right? However, we say too soon because the other person hasn't gone through a process of accountability. So it seems like we're letting them off the hook if we're done with the feelings. Even though you haven't forgot, right? But we say too soon in that aspect because there just seems to be a misunderstanding that there's a difference between forgiveness and reconciliation. They're not the same thing. Reconciliation is forgiveness in action, whereas forgiveness really only requires you to process the feelings so that you're not enslaved to those feelings of vengeance and bitterness and anger and all that, right? So the process is supposed to relieve you from those feelings and sort of clear your mental space, right? And then you can proceed forward with reconciliation as necessary. But yeah, that's the cultural consensus right there, is that there is such a thing as letting go too soon.
Okay. God level. How you feel about that? Do you concur?
I do. I do. Right now, I am battling, trying to forgive someone. So this topic really hit close to home, and I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I am definitely not there yet. It is just, name some things that you would find unforgivable, or do you think that everything can be?
Well, let me ask this, because according to what Master Skywalker just said, so do you associate or equate forgiveness with not holding somebody accountable? You know, like when you're not forgiving somebody, then you're not holding them accountable. Do you say that those two things are synonymous?
They're different for me right now in this particular situation.
So they're different?
In this particular situation, I have not forgiven a certain person, and I'm having a hard time doing so.
Okay, but can we explore? Can we? You know I gotta do this. I just want to explore, even without you giving details. I just want to know,
brother.
No, I just want to know. I just want to know. Can you reach down and identify what it is that's actually keeping you from forgiving?
Barriers of forgiveness. Barriers of forgiveness. Yes. Well, okay. Can I ask a question that's going to help you answer that? Are you unable or are you unwilling?
Open up. You can do it. Who just wrote that? Who wrote that? Say it one more time.
Yeah. So are you unwilling to forgive? Or are you unable to forgive?
I'm unwilling just yet to forgive, and kind of a little bit of both.
Well, there's no such thing as unable, so let's just dispel that. Let's just dispel that right off the bat.
Like, I'm telling you, I've been triggered all week about this, because I'm like, I know it's a couple of people out there that I have not forgiven, and this really hit home for me. I knew it.
All right, now
I'm just gonna try to be quiet tonight and let everybody else talk.
oh no, this is about you because we finna go in on you. Because you're the key. I think you're the key to this, to the understanding of this particular topic. You know, I don't want to say too much, but I just want to ask questions.
Okay.
I just want to ask questions.
All right.
Do you find pleasure in not forgiving these people?
It's not pleasurable.
It's not pleasurable.
It's not pleasure. It is.
What is it then?
Oh God. It is. I'm still angry.
And do you enjoy being angry?
Hey, let's just be honest. I mean, because some people, I just want to remind you, some people might align with your experience, so you could be helping.
Gotta ask the question.
Yes. Yes. That's my water.
She's like, y'all putting me in the hot seat.
Yeah, I'm like really in the hot seat right now. Release that hurt and pain, give up and hold on. Who is that? Tell me who that is.
So that's and forgive me if I mess your name up, but it's Bayani.
I'm right there with you, Renee. Who is
Bayani means Bowman Harding. I'm sorry if I mess your name up, but by any means Bowman Harding. So
okay, I'm right there with you, Renee. Thank you, honey, because this is hard.
I know, and that's Tanya.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just combing through. This is like trying to get through some kinky hair. Okay, when it comes to this particular thing. So we have to slowly comb through this thing because it's not enough for me to tell you, but I need you to realize for yourself what you're actually doing because forgiveness is 100% about you.
Okay.
It's 100% about you. And the reason why I'm asking you, if every person living, if their goal in anything that they do is about the pursuit of happiness, is the acquisition of enjoyment and peace. This is what everybody wants. Even a gangster, even somebody who's trying to dominate over other people, they're looking for peace, they're looking for enjoyment or what have you. That is the end goal of all of it, right?
Right.
So here's the thing. When I'm asking you, then are you enjoying the anger? Are you enjoying the non-forgiveness? Like I'm trying to see, you have to keep your mind on your goals, you know, and if you're not enjoying those, then how long must you indulge in an activity or an emotion that denies you your enjoyment? How long? Do you see what I'm saying? See the disservice you're doing yourself.
I am really in that. Okay.
Well, that's how I just want to point out that because this is about you. It's not even about them. It's about the disservice that you're doing to yourself.
This is a topic that we were discussing for everyone. How did I
know?
But
everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting it. They're gonna. You know, you're the sacrificial lamb.
You're justified in anger because you haven't had enough reassurance that you're understood enough by others to trust that the offense wasn't really done to you personally. Shit. I just want to sit back, quiet, and learn.
Oh, okay.
What fair. People do says more about them than the people they do things towards. Yeah, man. When you wake up,
but like he said, is it really about them or is it about you? That really is the question.
I'm just still angry.
Understood, but why? I'm just saying why. I mean, it's really your choice at this point.
Yeah, it's really my
It's your
choice.
choice to be angry and hold on to it.
I'll take that. I'll take
Okay, great. That's
that.
cool.
All right.
And so if you're choosing that, then is there any level of enjoyment there? And if so, then tell us what it is.
Yeah, so it's the benefit. Like you got to be benefiting from it.
Exactly.
I would imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the benefit? That's what everybody needs to acknowledge. What's the benefit?
I don't know. What is the benefit of being angry at someone?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Some people use anger to identify that there has been an injustice, and so the anger is the energy to correct that injustice or to tip the scales in the other direction. So people use anger to, all right, I'm going to use this anger to create change. Yeah. So, all right, cool. So,
yeah.
All right, if you're using anger to create change, and you're holding on, hey, look, you're not the only one. Look, there's so many people out there that's dealing with this. So all we need to do is we're just examining and exploring the process. Okay, so this isn't just you. You're not the subject here, but
I know
your experience is relatable. So if we're using anger as an energy to restore the justice from the injustice, okay, how long do you hold on to that anger? Because your anger is supposed to lead to some sort of action, right? So it should be a vehicle towards change. All right, I got this energy, let me create change with this energy. But if you're not creating change with the energy, you're just holding on to the anger, which means it's kind of like you're holding on to some fire in your hand and you're just thinking, all right, I'm gonna burn them to make some change, but your hand's still burning.
No.
Yeah.
It's energy is being used for my purpose and for my purpose only.
Okay.
The anger that I remind myself of is there as a reminder never to put myself in that situation again, to remember how I felt. I was angry because this happened to me. I was hurt at first. Then after the pain went away, then the anger set in because it was like I was more mad at myself that I did not even see this coming.
Okay, fair.
And I could have warded off a long time ago. So it was more. I'm not angry at the person. I'm angry at myself that I did not see it.
Self-forgiveness. Okay.
I didn't see it, and I remind, and I keep that a little bit of that anger with me as a reminder never to put myself in that situation ever again.
Mm-hmm. So let's look at it for what it is, because if we on one hand we have forgiveness, and then what is this opposite when we're not forgiving? Then what is there? It's resentment.
That's the word.
Okay, resentment is there. Now check this out. I came across a wise passage that says, "He who holds on to resentment, it's like taking poison and you hoping the other person would die."
Mm-hmm.
Okay? No, y'all heard that before, right?
It's not even about the other person anymore.
Well, and then we talk about self-forgiveness.
Exactly. When take the other person out of the equation, I'm more mad that I did not see it coming. And especially if I pride myself on knowing things and being able to see down the line, I didn't see that coming. So I'm more mad at myself. So I hold on to a little bit of that as a reminder. That's it. I'm not mad at the other person. I'm mad that I didn't see that shit, so I could have avoided that shit, so I wouldn't be having this particular conversation.
Okay.
Well,
peace.
Go ahead, beloved.
I dealt with anger for a long time in high school, grade school, and then some of middle school. I studied anger for a long time, and both of my parents were deceased, and a lot of the students, when we had parent-teacher conference, they would have their mom, dad, or just mom or just dad. Both my parents are deceased. My father is Renee's father. I'm sorry, God level's father. So we share an internal pain. For the longest, I pretty much, after learning how to fight, I would fight anybody that disrespect the name of my father, the name of my mother. But nothing positive came from that. The only thing that still remains the fact that I'm constantly reiterating my pain or my hurt or the loss because I view it in society that you should be thankful that you have your father. You should be thankful that you have your mother. And I was going about doing things wrong. If anything, I should have been forgiven of the situation so that it could be understood that I come from two great people, and because of them, I'm allowed to share this thing called life experience, which will be the greatest gift of giving or being of service, is to pass down life. So it took me a little while to learn how to forgive just from that one situation. But like Sarbadam said, and Master Skywalker also enforced, still my accountability. So my timeline is nothing more than me being the narrator, me being a commentator, me being an author, me being a writer, me being everything for this timeline of my life. So the longer I hold on to the anger, to the grudge, to the pain, I'm really not living. And that's the only thing I'm accountable for. Whatever happens to you in life, there's nothing you can do to stop that. It's just going to happen. As many a times I try to prevent and control the vehicle, but sometimes you have mechanical failure. That's out of your control. I flipped the truck before. And I tell you right now, I feel like I'm the safest person driving an 18-wheeler. But when something is not in alignment, something because of mechanical failure is out of your control, what can you control at that particular point? And like Diamond said, self. So if you're not staying in control of self, who's in control of you? The anger or you? And that's one of the alignments that you're supposed to be in any and every day that you wake up. So it goes back to saying that you have understanding in order to create peace. How much peace do you really have if you don't understand that you are in control of yourself? So is that peace really real? Or is it a false narrative you just like to say just because it sounds good? This thing we call life is never easy. It's going to always challenge you more and more. The more you grow, the more knowledge you obtain. It's always going to challenge you. So you can continue to say who you perceive yourself to be, but life will always knock at the door to remind you where you really are at. It's called state of being. Where is your state of being really at? The real reality of who you are.
I say.
So I share all that to say, when I say I have peace, I do have peace, because sometimes within a conversation, I'm only focused on why I'm not understanding correctly how to navigate the conversation, how to navigate the relationship, how to navigate the build, how to come about to a point to where I'm not overshadowing someone else's range of thought. Because if I can't get on your level to create understanding, what piece is really being created? Can't really build from that, even from a person that has done me wrong. It doesn't mean that you done me wrong. Now I got to stay mad or upset, angry at you. It's my job after the point. Okay, why did that happen? Okay, that's why that happened. So what am I supposed to do after the fact of the effect? What I'm supposed to do now? Wallow in it, continue to recreate the pain that's only temporarily? Or do I allow myself to stay in control, hold myself accountable, and build from that teachable moment? Because all it did was give me more information on what to look for, just in case the same situation presents itself.
Yeah.
That's right.
So once again, shout out to Saba Diamond for personal talks and games, and shout out to Master Skywalker both of you brothers helped me out a lot and helped me to remind myself how important it is to have understanding through communication. Always take the other person's point of view in high regard, because that's how they perceive their world to be and to build from that particular moment. So again, that's peace for me, and I'm always of service. So love you, brothers, love you, sis. And I hope this show continue to be great. And for all those that are watching, never be scared to call in and talk to us, because we are real people in real time going through real situations. And
that's right.
We are here for the community. Please don't look at it that we are like high priestesses or anything like that, or we above anybody. My light only shines if I'm able to light yours, so you can continue your pathway.
That's the purpose of it. That's it. That's it. All right, brother. Ooh. I say.
There is a component there that he mentioned that kind of ties into what you were saying, God level. There's a humility component, right? So it's totally understandable and commonly understood that, you know, we tend to beat ourselves up when we're faced with a situation where we took a L, right? Yeah. And so we're mad at ourselves because how did I not see that coming?
Yes.
Right. So, but however, if we're students of life, okay, we're constantly learning. We also acknowledge at a cultural level, because we say this all the time, you know, we're going to take some L's in life, right? And so if you're taking that L, it should be a lesson,
right?
Not a loss, right? But
that's true.
Yes,
it should be. But hey, it's cool if we don't either, right? But you know, that's a conscious decision. But if you are a true student of life and you accept and acknowledge that you're going to take L's in life, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but you live to fight another day, right? If you believe in that, then there should be some base level of humility when you're taking your L, when you're taking your lesson, that, you know what, it's possible that I could not have known that this was going to happen. So go ahead.
I'm still learning.
Right.
I'm still learning.
That's what makes it a lesson.
Thank you. Some things are harder to move forward than others. Because trust me, if I can get over my childhood, I'm gonna definitely get over this. I'm still going through the process. The pain has already been dealt with. Now it's just the anger of, how did I not see that coming? And sometimes you won't see it coming. I'm gonna give you an example. A person can present themselves to be a certain way. I'll take a man and a woman. This man can pretend to be a certain way until he gets this woman alone, away from her family, away from her friends, away from her support. And then once he marries this woman, then he turns into a monster.
Yes. Okay.
That's when you have experienced that. Of course, there's going to be some anger, because I pride myself on knowing certain things and moving away from people who I feel like is going to hurt me. So I'm a little mad at myself, although I'm grateful for the experience, because I will never repeat it again. It's just that anger. I'm still going through the process of letting go. It's levels to that shit. Excuse my language. It's levels to that shit. You know, so for us to be talking about forgiveness right at the end of the year is actually a beautiful thing, because I've already dealt with the hurt. It's the anger. Now I need to forgive myself. It's not so much forgiving the other person, it's forgiving me, because I'm the one that's holding on to the pain. I'm the one that's mad at me. That's
you hold on to the pain or the anger?
The anger. I'm sorry.
Which is still fueled by the pain.
Yeah. You know.
So basically, you're constantly reiterating to yourself that you took an L and you don't appreciate it. But there's no way to get vengeance on the L.
I'm not trying to get vengeance on the L.
So why continue to hurt yourself, Queen?
I'm going through the process of letting go. That's it. It's just, I mean, I'm going through that you gotta go through that process. I'm going through the process of letting go. It's okay. I'm definitely going to get on the other side.
Okay. So that is your goal then.
One day I'm going to wake up and be like, you know what? Oof, I'm glad that's over.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I can be honest and say that I'm not there yet. And guess
have you
what?
given yourself a short-term or long-term expiration date for that?
No, I have not. You cannot put a time on it.
Okay.
We had a show.
Now, what I have done is pour back into me. Start pouring back into me. You know, to get myself happy and healthy, and that's one of the things you have to do. Is even in the process, don't forget to love yourself and to show yourself love and compassion. Go ahead.
If I may be allowed, okay, appreciate you, God level. First and foremost, appreciate the Queen for opening up. I know because of God level opens up about a lot about her life and the things she go to. She also helped other queens in our community open up and share as well. Right. I want to share that we had a podcast and the Queen God level spoke on the fact that she put herself in a position to forgive. This is a long time ago before we came to this particular segment. She put herself in a position to forgive, let go, and move forward. Reason being, she felt like she may be blocking opportunities and blessings.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, Queen, is it possible that you may be blocking opportunities and blessings through the process?
Right now, I'm more focused on myself. When I made that statement, that forgiveness was for the other person, but right now we're just focused on
Got you.
We're focused on Renee. Renee has pulled back.
God level.
Thank you. God level has pulled back. God level is focused on her. God level is rebuilding. God level. I'm just focused on me right now. It has nothing to do with anybody else. I want to get to a place of peace and happiness. I'm showing that same love that I was dishing out. It's the same love I'm giving back to myself. That other person doesn't exist. It's me now.
I say.
Ooh. Oh God. Whose idea was this to have this topic?
It was yours. I saw the text.
But he just busting out the
I'm getting there. Yes, and I'm going to get there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to get there. I'm gonna wake up and it's just gonna be a thing of the past. I'm working on just filling my own cup up. I emptied out my cup this year. Y'all know this. Y'all had to carry me in May, in June, in July, in August, in September, until I was able to start walking. So I thank you, brothers, for that. Thank you.
And we walking with you, sis.
Yeah, I man, I would not be here right now had it not been for my brother. Diamond, this was before you, you know, but if it wasn't for John and Dion, I'm sorry, John Skywalker and King Newborn, I wouldn't, man, I went through some shit this year.
Oh, yeah.
And they was right there with me.
Yeah.
I show.
Let me get it.
I feel like Queen, God level, I think what you're experiencing right now is a reflection of the fact that you're acknowledging that at one point you never did trust me, to the point that you given a crown to John and a crown to myself and also a crown to Diamond to have a group of men that you trust, let alone in private, but also publicly. And that speaks a lot, because in society, it's hard to trust men. And you're definitely being a pillar in the community to show that we still have men out here that we can trust for protection, provision, and providing. And I just want to say I thank you for acknowledging the fact that not only did you give me the opportunity to be a part of this panel, but you give me an opportunity to shine in the light thereof, lack of being able to trust men for protection, provision, and providing. And because of that, you showed a level of forgiving of other people, and then also forgiveness of yourself to allow that to be let go. Therefore, we have God level at the level that is at right now. So that's beautiful. So I'm just trying to acknowledge your strengths.
Thank you.
I say.
Yeah. If somebody don't call this phone right now.
Listen, I already know. Listen,
I love y'all. I swear, I love y'all.
And we love you. And I want you to know that you are helping so many people right now. So, you know,
facts. Peace.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, I know that men have a bad name. However, I can honestly say if it wasn't for these men right here, I don't know.
I say. Well, that's why we do it. It sure ain't because we getting paid and getting big money for it.
Facts.
Right. This is us being, as my brother would say, of service to the community.
I say that's it.
You know, this is we do get those messages where people tell us how this show is helping to change them. Those phone calls, the comments, you know, and we're growing. I know I'm definitely growing from the information that's being shared. But also people are listening, even if they don't say anything, they're listening. You know, so I thank you. Oh my God. Just
yeah, we're a community. We're a community. We're a community on the podcast, and we're a community within the community.
Yeah,
it's very important. Very important. That's peace, though. Like I said, when you have a true understanding, that's the only way you can develop a peace. And I appreciate it. What you will know and understand, the more you bring yourself about to a understanding of who you are, or what do I like? I like to used to say, knowledge of self. When you come to knowledge of self or understanding of self, you up the level of accountability. And at times, even for myself, at times, like holding yourself accountable, that's a struggle. Because it's like you know better, so you're supposed to do better. But right now, I like to let me deal with this pain real quick. Let me deal with this anger real quick. Let me create this unhealthy space because, like Scott Walker said, it feels good. I think they got a song. It feels good. Yeah.
That's Tony. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and sometimes dealing with pain does feel good. Sometimes dealing with pain can be beneficial because it puts you past your limitations or the boundaries that were set before said situation came about, or the individual that you're dealing with came about, situations at the job or whatever. And I think it's only acknowledgement of where you are and where you're trying to go. So for God level's sake, I think because what you're dealing with might be a lesson that needs to be learned, because what you're about to embark upon, you might re-encounter it. It just might be dressed up differently. So you have to know that when this happens, you already have a template, a process.
Yes.
In order to eliminate that, so you can keep growing and developing. Like you said, we are of service. So the ones that are, I have to say it like this, that are chosen and sometimes bears the most weight, is only because they are indirectly a sacrificial lamb to the world to show you that you can make it. You can build from this particular point. You can keep growing from this particular point. And here's a little analogy I like to throw out there about forgiveness. There was a man that didn't choose defeat. He took his pain and turned it into triumph. There was a little joke going around called paperclip legs. Remember that? The Tink Tink. Remember the Tink Tink? Tink Tink didn't have no legs. Tink Tink had a dream. He had a dream. He wanted to win a running race with no legs. I'm gonna say it again. He had no legs. No legs.
I'm looking for Eckhart Tolle.
That's a hard reminder every day.
Sorry.
That's a hard reminder. But he overcame that situation by understanding his goal. What is his true intention? His true intention wasn't just to have legs. His true intention was just to win a race. So he respected the process. So just look at no legs as the process of learning how to forgive, not just others, but mainly yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because you're going to get curveballs all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get curveballs all the time. But I just said that the outcome is greater than the purpose going through the process. Once you understand the outcome, the purpose of the journey, that's lightweight.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, Tink Tink, he not only walked, ran, and won a race. They got disqualified because he was at an unfair disadvantage.
Mm.
We're talking about the man with no legs, right?
Right. See how that is?
Yeah, we're talking about the man with no legs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he lost his legs from a bomb, if I remember the story correctly. But he wasn't gonna let that be his defeat, though. So that's really important. He wasn't gonna let that stop him.
I say. So it's a couple of things I just want to point out of throughout the conversation. No, one of them was when King Newborn was talking about first of all, he was talking about the peace he had solidified, or he was actually highlighting what the ultimate goal should be, which is peace, getting back to peace. And then God level actually acknowledged that that's the point, that's where she's at. That's why this is about her now. It's not about the other person, but it's about her getting back to a place of peace, which is a process.
Yes.
But also, but this is a process. Remember, this is likened to the same process as you go through when you go through grief. There is a loss of something. There is a loss of something. Your respect, perhaps, and there is a point of acceptance that this has happened. There's a point where you accept, I didn't see it coming. You just accept that. You see, but forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, which is one of the most important forms of forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself, for whatever part you played in it, and that way you can move on. But that itself is a recognition of your own ego. It's saying, hey, we seek an identity in the wrong area. Okay, Mr. Ego, we're seeking identity in the wrong area. And so because when that ego is seeking identity through its pain, this is when you open yourself up to certain vibration manifested events. And if you've ever read this book, Eckhart Tolle's On New Earth, can you guys see that?
Yes.
I have a terrible delay here, but
I think I have that one too.
This Renee. I'm sorry, this is God level things
okay.
we don't want to talk about. Who am I speaking with?
This is Ivy. I think I was not but I just had to call in.
Hey, Ivy.
Because man was talking about ego, right?
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I get you set up so where you can y'all hear her good?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just, you you guys know, yeah, I've called in a couple times. You guys know I've been through a journey. Like these last 3 years has been a ridiculous journey for me. I'm gonna tell you, things started to turn for me, for myself, with forgiving myself once I let go of my ego. Once I stopped saying like, oh, I need to be mad because the world needs this, and the world tells me that I'm supposed to be mad about this situation, or I'm supposed to have an attitude about this situation. Or, yeah, I took that L, and I'm not supposed to, I'm supposed to be mad about it, and da 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 da. But once I just started saying, like, something, I'm a real doggone human, and when you're human, you have to be human across the whole entire spectrum of humanity. That means that sometimes, you're not always going to do the right thing. Sometimes you are going to do the right thing. Sometimes you're messy. Sometimes you're clairvoyant. Sometimes if you just run the entire gauntlet of humanity, you also realize that your ego is what for me, let me speak for me. My ego is what kept me from living a full life. Because of the fact that I wanted to be like, oh, I'm supposed to be this person. I'm supposed to be that person. And becoming really, really comfortable with who I was and knowing who I am. And I had a therapist who told me, get in touch with your demons before they bite you in the, right? And when she told me that, I understood it. Like, I understood it later on. You have to be comfortable with the dark side of yourself. So if you can understand the dark side of yourself and all of your facets of humanity, then you can understand other people and their whole entire facets of humanity. And it's so much easier to forgive that way. And that's why I'm like, this whole entire time, I've just been hearing about, like, releasing the ego, take that L, let it go, da-da-da-da. You take that loss because you're like, okay, I took a loss because I'm human, and it's supposed to happen. Stuff like that is supposed to happen. That's called living life. But there's more joy in your life than there is loss a lot of times, And just see other human beings and other circumstances that happen in the world surrounding just being human or just being happenstance, and instead of saying that the world is trying to implode on me or they're trying to dump on me, and just look at your entire life as the happenstance of humanity. That's what forgiveness means to me. And I protect that joint like everything, because if I'm going to ask for forgiveness for some of my human stuff, that means I got to forgive other people for their human stuff too. And it also extends to myself. If I can't forgive myself, I can't truly forgive anybody else. I just wanted to throw that out there, and I'm done. But I love this topic. Thank you very much for talking about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, love. We really appreciate it.
I think what she said is
all right.
I think what she's saying is extremely important to recognize, because listen, we are, first of all, I know we say this a lot. We're only human. We are much more than human. Human is just a complex. That is an aspect of our total being, and it's the most gross. And I don't mean gross like nasty, but I'm talking about accumulation of things. How things like all your money is the gross amount, that kind of gross. So it's but it's the accumulation of this is how we express. This is our gross expression is in a human form, but it's the last form that we take on. But there are many, many more forms that we go through. And they actually call them like the non-bodies of the soul and so forth. And our last one becomes the Ren, or the name, or ego. Okay, so this is how we identify in our incarnations. But we're so much more than that. We're complex. So this is why we're all having a hard time wrestling with what's supposed to be and what's supposed to be not. Who are we? What are we? Why are we here? What are we supposed to be doing? And so forth. We are complex. The thing is that but this life is all about sewing all of that mystery together. This is why ancestors say, know thyself. Okay, so this is what our journey is supposed to be about, knowing ourselves. Now, what I love about what she was saying, and I know the word ego triggered her, into that. But let me say that the ego is that's part of your makeup. It's not something you want to do away with. It's something you want to subdue. You want to reassign it. You want to condition. You want to intentionally give it an identity, because that's all the ego seeks. It seeks an identity because it knows it's what makes you unique. Each one of us have different egos, and our egos are like our divine fingerprints. All of us express, physically in a different way. Even if we're twins, we're identical twins. There's still in that ego, there's a subtle difference in the way we express. So, but when that ego is seeking, when you don't give it something to seek, but yet it seeks on its own, because it's always going to be seeking its identity, and it's going to seek it and get this identity no matter how. It can do it through pain, it can do it through suffering, or it can do it through joy and love. It doesn't matter, but you must give it. Now, the path of least resistance is going to be the negative route. There is no energy spent in that negative route. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about toxicity. Now, resentment is a component of toxicity. Okay? So, and I'm saying non-forgiveness. You become the toxic one when you are refusing to forgive. And that's whether it's forgive yourself or forgive somebody, you become a component of toxicity. A friend of mine on Facebook, his name is Thelonious Jones. Shout out to you, brother. He and I, we have a lot of, he puts out a lot of intellectual stuff. But he says, where do you get the energy? Let me say it, and because I have it right here. He said, where do you find the energy to continue feeding all of the toxic people, places, and things that's depressing you? Where do you find the energy? Where do you find the energy to keep remaining in these toxic situations, whether they're psychological, emotional, or physical? Where do you find the energy? And I simply responded. I said it takes more energy to escape the gravity of those situations than it does to stay in them. The problem is complacency. We become complacent because we don't want to put in the work. So we reside in a cesspool of toxicity. And then what we end up doing, because we don't want to admit ourselves that we're toxic, we start to blame other people for that toxicity. Okay? Now rescue me if I'm wrong, and then he just comes back and he says, yes, he agrees, but still, where do we find the energy? And I simply said this, because you know what, I always have to go metaphysics. So, and I said to him, I said, in toxic situations, the energy becomes self-generated. Okay, so if you want to know where we get the energy, it's just like, and you can identify with this, Master Skywalker, the Krebs cycle. It produces its own energy in order to create energy, right? So it becomes from a dipolar to a tripolar. So and I know I'm gonna clean that up in a minute. I know you guys are like, what the hell is he talking about? But it's self-generated by the attention and actions of the individuals involved. Toxicity thrives and survives from a cyclical reintroduction of its elements into a situation, a cycle that's perpetuated by the mindset and egoic pursuits of the parties involved. Okay? So you have to understand something. When you are choosing to hold on to resentment rather than to enact forgiveness, you are introducing the toxic elements back into your situation. And so when King Newborn was talking about earlier, what kind of blessings are you blocking for yourself? Don't forget, at the end of the day, this is a metaphysical experience. So you better believe that toxicity, that negative energy that you're putting out, has a low vibration. And when you're involved in a low vibration, all the stuff that you want is in the high vibrations. So you are truly blocking your own blessings and the things and desires that you want. This is why you want to hurry up and get to peace. So I say, okay, in this touche kind of thing to you all, it's never too soon to enact forgiveness. It's never too soon. It's something you should get to right away, and it's for your own sake. You never hold poison in your mouth. Any moment is too long. Any moment is too long.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna stop it there and just let it go. But I just want to say thank you for allowing me to speak, guys.
Man, I need some water.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Go, John.
So I posted 3 questions in the group. I mean, since we're still exploring here. So
okay.
this kind of falls in the line with what forgiveness is, right? So first off, thank you to everyone in the group who actually replied. We had a pretty high response rate for that one.
Yeah,
so
I like that one. I replied to that one. That was
yeah. So we had 18 votes for this one. This was nice. So we had 5% that said it's emotional. We had 12% that said it's mental, 5% that said it's spiritual, and then we had 77% that said it's a combination of all three, and we had 1% that said that they were unsure. What say y'all?
Oh, they're gone. They
left.
Call back.
Call back. Whoever.
Please call back. Call
back. I love it.
No idea who that was.
What you click on, John? Did you say all of the above or?
Oh, which one did I click on?
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, things that people don't want to talk about. This is God Level. Who am I speaking with?
It's Amina.
Hi, Amina.
Hey, Amina. Hey there, beloved.
Peace.
Good.
How are you? I'm doing good. I'm processing everything that was being said. And I wanted to tell Brother Diamond, like, literally right before he came back to talk about, like, the element of unforgiveness stemming from grief, I had just started writing a note about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she posted it to the group.
I started writing a note about it. And that's what I was saying. The inability to forgive ourselves is due to us grieving the life that we think or thought we would have if XYZ situation had never happened. But we must have trust that everything is always happening for us, not to us.
Right.
We are overcomers because we overcome. If we never got down, we can't get up and over.
That's right.
That was very encouraging, like, for him to turn around and come back and say that. I was just like, oh, yeah, that's great. But then the thing that I'm really struggling with is I was one of the people that made a comment earlier this week in the group about being a person who forgives too soon. I think because I have, and I know, like, I know all of that we don't want to poison ourselves holding on to a lack of forgiveness. But my issue is I have struggled with extending this mindset of I'm forgiving this person and I'm doing this for me or whatever. But then later on, like, I end up realizing I wasn't really there yet. So, like, I commend Renee for really honoring the steps and going through the levels, because it is the level to forgiveness. And I have tried to sort those levels before because, you know, I understand that forgiveness is for me. And I understand that these people aren't doing things personally to me, that I shouldn't take it personal and all of that. But sometimes I think I've been prematurely forgiving people and trying to overextend forgiveness, or maybe it's been the idea of, like John was talking about, maybe prematurely I've been extending forgiveness or labeling it as forgiveness when in fact I was trying too soon to reconcile with people. I'm trying to clear this up in my head as I'm listening to y'all, but I really do think also for people who struggle with people pleasing, it is easy for you to, like, go out on a limb to try to forgive people so that you can reclaim your own energy so that they don't have any power over you. But sometimes it really is too soon. Like, sometimes you need to do a little bit in that anger and whatever emotion it is that's coming, because that's a part of the process. Like, it really is. It's just a part of the process. So I thank y'all so much for all of the conversation. I just wanted to share my little 2 cents.
Thank you.
Your 2 cents is very valuable here, beloved.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you.
High currency.
Yeah,
so
high currency.
Like, it's really a thing about, like, forgiving too soon, especially for people who wrestle with people pleasing, like, or being overly optimistic and trying too hard to just get over things.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So let me address that. So there is something called being overzealous in your compassion to others, and that's a nice way of saying people pleasing, being overzealous in your compassion to others. And the thing about it is that what are we truly looking for? Either way it goes, if you're people pleasing, that's still the ego in charge. That's still an undirected ego in charge, and that ego is seeking identity through trying to make these connections that nobody else is trying to make with you. So you're like, but this is the only way I can be identified. So let's get back to this connection. Other than this, I don't have an identity. So it's seeking that. So the thing is that when we are forgiving someone, what are we actually doing? This is why I asked this before. What it all depends, and we're not talking about forgiving somebody is not the same as letting them off the hook.
Ooh.
It's not the same as letting them off the hook. Forgiving. Now, when you ask this question, Master Skywalker, is forgiveness emotional, mental, or spiritual? And I said it was all three, but let's look at them aspect by aspect. Okay. Now, what we're talking about here, this is an emotional thing. And we know that emotions is energy in motion, which sets up vibrations, right? So you want to hurry up and get back to a good vibration. Set yourself right. Set your spirit and your vibe back right. So this is why forgiveness is important right up front. You do not have to give them a pass for what they've done. That's not the same thing. Forgiveness is letting go of the emotional vibration so you don't hold on, so you're not wallowing in it. That's what forgiveness is. It's relieving yourself of that low vibrational torment. That's what forgiveness is. You see? But it does not mean if somebody is having murderous intentions against you, you don't break bread with them.
Right.
Okay? It's just how it is. You don't have to put yourself in a position to where this person can again do the same thing they did to you again. That's just not wise. And you don't have to hold on to resentment to say no to them next time.
Boom.
Or to say I want to. You don't have to be resentful to do that. That's just wisdom. That's what that is. This is part of learning from that situation. I've learned the extent of trust that I can give to you.
Yes.
And it only goes this far. That is it. And so which is another reason why you're not holding it against them, because they just taught you where they are.
Yes.
So okay, now I'm informed, duly noted.
Yeah.
You can't go there no more.
Yeah.
We move on.
You show, we got evidence. Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So you see now, so the emotional aspect is that releasing yourself of that low vibration. Okay. Mentally, this is resetting your perception of the world around you so you can function. So you can function. Now, when you're holding resentment against one person, this is the problem with mankind. We can't just hold it against one person. It's going to affect how we relate to everybody else. The next person will come up to you because you got an attitude about Susie. Then when Todd comes into you with flowers, you might throw him to the side.
You got to punish him too. Yep.
Come on.
You got to punish him.
There you go.
Yep. Can't just be Susie. We got to punish him. Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
That anger.
See how that trickles down?
Yep. The anger, resentment, bitterness. It just.
Other people are gonna be affected by that, and they did nothing to you.
Facts.
You see?
Forgiveness without reconciliation. I love it.
Now, spiritually, now what you're doing, think about, and now this is the big thing. What are you adding to the consciousness of mankind? How are you now bringing about, what kind of experiences are you giving other people because of it?
Ashe.
Big picture.
Whoa.
Big picture.
Watch
Big
out
picture.
Now don't forget, you don't know when the sun has rise for the last time on you. You don't know that. So why even spend a moment?
There you go.
So you get what I'm saying though. So this is why I say they're all three, John, in case anybody wanted to question my answer. This is why I say they're all three.
I'm sorry, Amina. I didn't forget about you. You still there, love?
Oh yeah, I was listening.
listening. I was just saying, yes, I agree.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Bars, big bars.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to say to Amina, if you wanted to, how did I do? How you doing?
Just broken down just the way you said it, because like I really was having a moment of cognitive dissonance, because I was like, I agree with what you're saying, but something within me is like we had eyes here, and I just needed a little further explanation, because I was like, I know I've done that. I know I've given people forgiveness. And so what it was is like I've opened my hand, but I didn't fully let go. So I was just letting it rest in my hands. And whenever the memories would resurface, I was like you, Renee, I would try to hold on to the anger and be like, oh, it's my motivation to not get done like this again. Nobody ain't gonna do me like this again. So then I would clench my hand again. Yeah. And I would feel wasn't really letting go, but my hand was open, but I guess I never was really letting stuff go. And
right.
Looked like I was letting go, because I would tell the person like, yeah, I forgive you, and they would see the act of me opening my hand, but I was never releasing this stuff. So yeah, I needed that emotionally, mental, spiritual breakdown. I needed that. Thank you, Sabah Dehamen. Like, alhamdulillah.
Oh my God.
I say.
All right, thank you.
I say. And that's why I'm recommending this book. You know, this book is what sent me into my spiritual initiation. When I read this book, it opened up a lot to me, because it talks about the ego and also the pain body, the pain body. Okay, it's Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth. All right, put it in the comments. Can I do it from here?
I don't see why not.
Okay, I don't know if everybody else can.
Okay, wait a minute, because I'm looking it up. A New Earth.
Yeah, A New Earth.
Oh, that is so great. I was just sitting here thinking, like, I need something to read a couple days ago. I was like, I need a good book, A New Earth. Okay.
No. Okay.
Small little bill for anybody that deal with numbers, I should say. Shout out to the Nations of Gods and Earth, the 5%ers. Today is the 18th, which is 1-8. Add together, you get 9. And it is knowledge, build or destroy, or being born to born. And forgiveness is the act or process of forgiving or being forgiven.
I always question when I use the word in the definition. So, you know, that just tells me you should never, the word should not show up in its own definition.
Yeah, it's like a circular argument.
Yeah, it's like you back to where you started.
But that is Oxford's definition, not mine.
Yeah. Well, I know they do that a lot.
Yeah, that's why you said that. Yeah.
They do that a lot.
But I'm just pointing out that when you do.
No, go ahead. I'll wait.
Oh no, I'm just pointing out the 1-8 is knowledge, and build or destroy is 8. So based off the information from Sabah Ahmed, Amina, God Level, Skywalker, with all this information, if you add it together, you do bring yourself to the point of decision making. You build or you destroy, and sometimes that could be interchangeable. Sometimes you destroy in order to build. So you have to ask yourself, what do you do from this particular podcast moving forward? Because as of tomorrow, or when you go to sleep and you wake back up, technically it is a new earth. It's a new calendar year. It's a new date. It's a new time. It's all new to you, all over again. So from what you learned yesterday, or you allow yourself to build for a new beginning tomorrow. I just want to point that out there. Quick little math.
That's right. That's right. Always coming forth. You should not be the same person tomorrow who you are today, even by a small degree. There should be something different about you. I say.
That's tight.
I wanted to go ahead.
No.
Okay. I wanted to share what's it's a question I've been asking myself since I've been on this journey and pouring back into myself, and it has been a process for me. And I'm working on phase 2. John has been getting my updates. I don't want to talk about it just yet. But I've been asking myself a question. Do I allow for what has happened to me to dictate not allow dictate, but am I going to succumb to it, or am I going to allow it to open up a new level of strength within me? That has been my question. And I always go with just allow for it to open up another level of strength within me. I am stronger than I was a year ago. Build off of that and continue to build. That's how I'm moving through this process. Another thing, what's his name? Dortez?
Yes.
Dortez told me
Alan.
Alan, thank you. When you're on this journey, it is okay to be by yourself. So I'm not dating, or I'm not in that space. Right now, I want to give all of myself, all of me, the love. I just want to give it to me right now. Mm-hmm. I don't mean this. That's not being selfish.
No.
Selfish. I just want to love on me right now.
Okay. Self-love.
Mm-hmm. Pour into my cup. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to do, and continue to build, rebuild, and come out stronger than I was. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Healing.
Process.
That's it. And it's called self-care. It's called self-care when you are doing something for yourself that you ain't dragging nobody else into.
No.
You're just doing something. That's called self-care.
No.
But selfishness is
self-full.
Yeah. But selfishness is when you are recruiting other people for your own gain.
No.
That's selfishness.
No. Right now, no, it's just me.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just reiterating. So I don't want you even thinking that's nowhere close to being selfish. That's called self-care, beloved.
Okay, thank you.
That's what you want to do. I don't think enough of us do enough of that.
It's very peaceful here. Because it's just me and my daughter, and we have our little quirky moments around here, around the house. If y'all could see us, we could have our own show.
I bet it's like Laverne and Shirley over there.
We could have our own fucking show. No, because she's a Virgo, and they have them. It's the way they talk. Very cold and detached, and I'm over here bubbly and affectionate and always kissing.
Wait a minute. Coming from a perspective of a what? What sign are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
Aquarius. Coming from the sign. My mother was an Aquarius. I love Aquariuses.
Yeah. Was she very affectionate?
No.
That may be the Pisces in me then.
She wasn't very affectionate. No. Well, let me put it like this: not in the physical way to where she was huggy and kissy and stuff like that.
Oh, I do. I will just run in her room and jump in the bed and just start hugging and kissing on her, and she'll just be like, she'll be like, "Woman, stop." I don't get mama stop. I get woman. Close. She's 14, so she's at that age. Oh God. I'm still gonna hug and kiss on her. I don't care.
Shay. That's it. Yeah, I do that to my son. My son is 24 years old, and when I every time I see him when I go to Texas to see him, I still hug and kiss on him. We both Cancers, so so you'll see him. He lays his head on my shoulder and everything, But that's how much I love him. And we both have that connection.
Surrounded by Cancer, me, and all water signs. I'm surrounded by all water.
Yeah.
It's water.
Cancer, Pisces.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Waterhouse. Yeah.
And I'm the water barrier.
Yes, right. And we're moving into the age of Aquarius.
Yes, we are.
Yes, moving into the age of Aquarius. And this is why you get all these water movies coming out. The Wakanda Forever was a water-based movie. Avatar 2 is a water-based movie. The top movies of 2022, by the way. So
you like that? I like how they did a reach back. they did a reach back and pulled them up there with them, black and brown. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, but wait till you see Avatar 2. Really? Wait till you see Avatar 2 if you haven't seen it. Oh my God. I ain't gonna say much, just go see it. And we should have a whole show about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next week we're just gonna, okay, speaking of shows, next week we're just gonna get on for a hot second. Is everyone available or not available or?
Well, I'm available. I don't, that's another day for me. Well, it's the first day of the because I don't want to make it sound all religious or whatever, but it's the first day that the sun is on its ascent. So it's the resurrection of the sun.
And it is the last Sunday of the month of the year.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, last Sunday of the year. So what are we doing? And then we come in January 1st.
Well, can we talk about the significance of this time of year? Because even more so, we've gotten lost in this commercialism, and so can we talk about?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to know because y'all know I got metaphysics all up in that. So,
let's do a show reviewing the movie Us.
Us. Who said that? I don't even know. I'm off the other page. He was slowing me down.
Me too. I don't know who said that. That's
probably in the Facebook page and things that people don't want to talk about.
That was Amina.
Amina, okay. Mm-hmm. Discussing the movie Us. Okay. I don't know if I haven't seen that movie yet. Haven't seen Us.
I saw it. We can do it. We can do it.
Okay. Well, Jordan Peele is he's very controversial. We can talk about some things, the meaning and stuff. That means I gotta watch the movie.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Okay. All right.
So I wanted to address this question right here. We asked 3 questions in the group, by the way, audience members.
Go ahead.
So if you guys haven't joined already, please join the group. Things that people don't want to talk about, just type that into the search engine. You will find us. All right, go ahead and join that group. Pertaining to this question right here, we did a poll, and I posed this question because just thinking about it, I know if I pose this question to 50 different people, in terms of what is forgivable and what's unforgivable, I'm not going to get the same answers, right? We're not going to agree on that. And so it made me think, well, is there anything that's objectively or absolutely unforgivable that we can all agree on? And again, the answers are going to vary. So the poll, and we got 14 votes, by the way, 71% said yes. There are actions and behaviors that are objectively or absolutely unforgivable. 21% said no, and 8% said they were unsure. I'm going to read some of the comments. We had 7. Rhonda says lies that endanger me, my safety, my family, and my livelihood. Cheating is up there for me as well. I'd rather leave than to cheat, or I'd rather you leave than to cheat. Cosmos, he said, I put N-O with a capital N-O because forgiveness is never about the person that did you wrong. It's about the person who was/is done wrong. So today I choose to live a very peaceful existence that includes, but not limited to, living, as opposed to just surviving or existing. As we know, I'm not perfect, but there are things, I already know. There are things in my control and not in my control, and I choose to control my happiness. I choose to not live with regret, resentment, anger, jealousy, or hatred towards another, regardless if we are related or family. I figure I missed the whole walking with Christ the entire first half of my life. So now I'm trying to get next to him, let alone walk with him. You feel me? I could be wrong, but I don't think I can even get close to him if I can't forgive. Sarai says betrayal is unforgivable for me. That's super broad, but it's betrayal. Stephen says When it's intentional and causes serious mental or physical harm, it is unforgivable. Or when it causes trust issues. Chris says beating and cheating both fall into this category of unforgiveness, absolute unforgiveness. I honestly can't imagine who would need an explanation for why. They seem pretty self-explanatory to me. And then Love Sean says, I would have to say no. I didn't always feel this way. I spent so many years angry, and then I decided I wanted peace. I was the one holding on to the trauma, constant reoccurring thoughts, being triggered, and feelings that I was less than. I decided to do the work to see how it was affecting my relationships and choices. I went to therapy. I was surrounded by my family, but no one wanted to talk about anything, deal with anything, or work on healing. It took me years to realize I would never heal or have the peace I desire, waiting on some of my family to admit their wrongs. When I put the focus on me, start to forgive, and also realize this was for me as well.
There it is. I love that. That ending. That ending. That ending.
Wow.
Love time, you go, girl.
What say y'all though to the question? Do you guys does the panel believe that there are actions, behaviors that are absolutely unforgivable?
Well, of course.
Oh, okay. Unforgivable. So it's can't let it go.
No.
Oh, okay.
So you can't remove yourself from the energy of those things.
You want me to give you an example? My children, something was to happen to my children. That's unforgivable. It's unforgivable. No, I will. Y'all have kids?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I do. But listen. This is why I pose the question, because what's forgivable to one person, another person is going to say, "No, that's not forgivable." So it really does point to the fact that it's a choice, conscious or unconscious. It's still a choice. So someone says, "John, your kids died by the hands of this woman, this man, this organization. You're gonna forgive that?" What's the other choice? Don't let it go.
Wow.
And then what? Okay. And then what? And then what?
I'll take that. Oh.
Well,
let's see.
You wanna answer that too, King Newborn?
I seen the look. I seen the look.
I struggled with that thought process. Someone were to hurt my children. That's why I say I struggle with that process of just dealing with myself being shot. And for the love of me, I used to always tell people I never want to find out the exact person that did it, because yeah. So but it was a part of me, it was like, well, hold on. If I wasn't able to actually do something at the time, then I can understand it. But since that time no longer exists, the only person that's reliving it is myself. So if my children are with me and danger came upon them that hurt, harm has to be placed, then that'd be the only time that I really could act on anything. After the fact, unfortunately, where I am, I'm not gonna say unfortunately, fortunately, where I am mentally now, I would have to forgive. True enough, the pain might resurface or trigger or something like that, but I can honestly say where I am now, I will have to forgive, because the more information you gather about a situation, the more it changes your thought process. And that's why they say sometimes you have to see the whole picture. Like, well, what was the intent, the reason behind set situation that brought upon, you know, my children's death, or something happened to them, or, you know, so I'm just at a different, and I have to say, I never saw myself becoming the man that I'm becoming, but life is continuing to teach me. It's not about me, but it's about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly me showing myself to be of service, to be an example, to continue to endure what life has to offer. We keep thinking that we can walk through this happy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a parallel to happiness. Or let's just say negative and positive.
Yeah.
You can't call one without the other. So at some point you have to endure both. Sometimes they can be parallel too. Again, today is the 18th. Knowledge, build, destroy, all being born and born. Where are we really at in life? What do we really understand? Are we taking the time to understand?
I say.
I mean, it's the only way you can get to peace.
Which is the goal. That's the goal.
Yep. And because of Diamond and Master Skywalker, out of nowhere, like God level said, woke up one day and it was like, yeah, you got peace. Well, you got understanding, you got peace. You know what the ultimate goal is after you get that? You got to be of service now.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing right here, right now.
Yeah.
Well, I would have to just real quick, in my answer, I've already told you how I feel about what forgiveness is for me. There is no act, there is no situation that is worth a decline in my energy, worth a decline in my health, worth a sacrifice of my spiritual, what do you call that? Endowment. Okay, there's nothing worth that. So there is nothing, and furthermore, I have to question people who say that there is nothing. There is something that they won't forgive. I have to question. This is why, especially when it comes to us black folk. Now, does this mean that we've forgiven those who have oppressed our ancestors with all that heinous stuff that has happened, but yet here we are moving forward in their system and not even building our own? So you mean to tell me that we can forgive that, but then there's something after that that you couldn't forgive? What can be more heinous than that? So I'm just wondering, on what scale are we measuring, you know, this event? On what scale are we measuring it? So anyway, that's all I got to say about it.
I just felt called out.
But also, in little what he's saying,
not just you.
I say.
But listen, also,
not just you, but I'm just saying.
We're learning. Remember now, we're all learning here, right?
Yes,
we're all learning.
Yes. He said my brother just said some stuff, and Diamond just said some stuff that made me just rethink everything that I just said. So it's like, you know what? Yeah, you got a point there. Like, yeah.
But also just taking into consideration.
Yeah.
This whole thing, this life right here, this is temporary.
Yeah.
We mean to say out loud and consistently that this world, this experience, this human experience, that it has that much power over your soul that even what are you gonna do after death? What you gonna do? You still gonna hold on to that energy?
Right.
That those events that are now gone, they're non-existent.
You better not hold on to it.
You're gonna hold on to that after death.
You know what our ancestors said about that,
brother. Instigate.
I'm just saying.
Stop instigating.
So some would argue, you know what, John? I would rather wait. I'm gonna wait until it's time for me to die, which, okay, that's very presumptuous. You know how you're gonna die, but cool. I'm gonna wait until I die, and I'll deal with the forgiveness then.
Nope. Too late.
It don't work like that.
And trust me, that's the time you don't want to have to deal with it. I've been, every Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm teaching a book called Ma'at, the Moral Ideal in Ancient Egypt, by Malana Karenga, the founder of Kwanzaa, right? He has come and taken us through a chapter in that book as well. But we've been dissecting what we call the final judgment scene, which is where you see the scales and the heart and the feather and things like that. See, before you get to that point, in order to have your heart light to where it can match or be lighter than that feather, you have to release stuff.
Yes.
And like I said before, you don't know when the sun has risen for the last time on you. So you need to be releasing stuff all the time. Release it. Because
that day of judgment, that's the day of judgment. He talking about the day of judgment.
That's it.
I just can't with my brother right now. Stop.
So I'm just saying that this is the way the ancestors saw it. When we talk about tens of thousands of years ago, this is what this is how they saw it. And you can see that mural on the pyramid walls when you go there.
I see the love. I see the hearts over there, Miss Amina. I see you, baby. I see you. She's like, yes.
Man, but let's unpack that real quick. I'm trying to give it. I mean, like really think about what Skywalker and Sawadama is really saying right here. Mm-hmm. What if you let's say for every incident that you didn't forgive, say each thing weighed 5 pounds.
Ooh.
I'm just throwing something out here. Just something to think about. I mean, think about that. For every incident of non-forgiveness, it weighed 5 pounds. How much would you weigh before you left your house? We're not even talking about clothes.
You're carrying that weight every day.
Right.
Oh, man.
Every day.
Oh, man. Now, you have to special order your bed. You couldn't even lay in your bed without breaking it.
You could. Yeah, you couldn't lay in your bed.
I'm just saying, though. But look at all that would destroy throughout your day. You will not only slow down your timeline, you will slow down the process to get from the door to the car. You will actually give the car more of a lag. It wouldn't even be about wind resistance no more. The car would be too heavy. Power to weight ratio. Just think about that. What if you're on the second floor at your job, no elevator? How long would it take you to get up to the steps and actually click in? Just think about everything that you would slow down, all because you have so much power. You decided not to let go.
Pride.
Which is that is the food of the ego. Pride. Takes pride. And listen, we didn't even get into it so much, and I know we over time, but we didn't even get into the physiological implications of holding on to resentment.
No, I mean we could always do a part 2.
Stress, depression.
Yes.
But look at what we're talking about. When we're talking about stress, we're talking about the production of cortisol, and we know when cortisol is over introduced, when it prolongs inside the system, we know what happens. You literally can get diabetes from that. It releases
high levels of insulin,
high levels of sugar. It releases all of the sugar in your blood, all the stored sugar. But also look at the C-reactive proteins that are built up in the heart. So we're literally building up the heart disease and things like this as well. Yeah. You're about to kill yourself, and then the cells cannot proliferate. So then you can get cancer if more of those cancer cells become active under stress, and holding on to resentment is a stressful act. So this is why I say that's like you holding on to poison and expecting somebody else to die. It's going to kill you, I promise you.
Okay? Love Time has requested we do a part 2.
We should do a part 2.
All right. We can get into the physiological effects of it. Yeah. And then
that part 2 will actually come on the 1st of the year, because next week it's Christmas.
You know what? Can we? I'm sorry, we haven't done this in a while. Can we just leave it open for open discussion?
Okay.
Next week.
Let our fans, let the community, question us. Question God level. The podcast. What's our purpose? What's our intent?
Yes, we can go. We can do it.
I'm just throwing something out there.
Yeah,
you get a little bit more what they say, community interaction.
I love it.
I say, man, my love is so deep for all of my sisters and brothers right here on the panel, and also all for all those who are looking and listening and engaging with us. Wow, this you talking about chasing dopamine.
That stuck with me all week.
Yes.
I've been chasing dopamine all week. That stuck with me all week. Oh my God.
But this doing this show is like that for me now. It's like I'm about to get my dopamine fix.
Yeah, this is my therapy. You know, I'm gonna share. Just knowing that we were going to talk about this just brought up reserve. I just would say reserve, just some feelings of stuff that I dealing with, and just brought it to the forefront because I'm just trying to take it piece by piece, you know, step by step. And I was a bit triggered this week. I was like, wow, I was a bit triggered this week. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to, I will agree. It doesn't make sense to hold on and not forgive someone for something that they have done, because it's like, I don't know who said it, holding on to something and expecting the other person to feel it. Yeah. We're not going to do that. John, you want to post that third question?
Sure. Or are we good? Are we still?
No.
Or do you want to go? Or you want to save it for part 2?
We can save it for part 2.
Yeah, let's save it for part 2.
I just, you know, I know we was trying to make sure that we keep it under an hour and a half, but sometimes like tonight it gets good and we just go. You know, so does anybody have anything they want to say?
I would like to add, and you know, and sometimes I say some stuff that's kind of blunt and it don't have no emotional feeling attached to it, and that's due to the nature that the more I learn, the more it has nothing to do with my feelings or emotion. It's just the fact you have to make a decision, and know that the decision you made for the time or the state of being or knowledge to understanding it was right for that time. Because life is always a vessel of learning. You're going to always learn. You're always going to learn. And this thing with forgiveness, it's going to always be a challenge. It's always going to be a challenge. But the challenge is only to show you where you really are at versus where you're not at. And that's okay. You know, that's okay. If you can come to the understanding that's okay, that you're not where you thought you was, the only job from that point forward is to get there.
Yep.
You just gave yourself a different purpose. So your goal then is to get there. Get to the person that you want to become. I've said it many times with my brothers, my newfound brothers on this panel. Sabata Ahmed is an elder that I want to become. Not saying in the essence of totality or gross sum of who he is in his life, but I want to become an elder that can be a teacher through not just experience, but through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, to where I can give people the option to cultivate their culture in life. Shout out to John. John is the man I feel like I'm supposed to be through and through right now. And I appreciate that. But I understand.
That's what's up. He giving you flowers.
I understand that this podcast came along during the time frame that I've been doing a lot of growth and development, mentally, spiritually. And I'm grateful. because of these two men, I have a I can say a level of benchmarks that I'm trying to reach, and it's just beautiful. Now, here's the beauty of all this, because there is no masculine energy without the feminine principle.
I say, better believe it.
So again, God level, just want to say thank you and appreciate you, because we have had our misunderstandings through communication, which brought us to a understanding. But until we took the time to actually do the right math, which is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, we tend to collide with our culture, and that doesn't give us power, which is 5. The more we acclimate the right equation, the more our relationship will grow and flourish, and we will be the example of, just because you brother and sister and not necessarily husband and wife, that the dynamic between masculine principle and feminine principle can't do anything without each other. So again, sis, I thank you for giving me the honor to be upon this podcast. Because of you, I was able to meet 2 brothers of where I felt like I should be and where my destination should go. So I just appreciate you.
I love you.
Yes, we do. We love you so much. We love you so much, brother. And all I can say, thank you for reminding me of how my heart is supposed to remain. Thank you. Thank you for that, brother.
Thank you.
That level of heart, thank you just for being that example, so I can always be reaching and making sure and checking myself to make sure I have the heart of brother the King Newborn, So I always want to be of service, and I believe you. I believe you when you say that.
Oh yeah.
So thank you so much, brother.
Oh yeah, he meant it.
Reciprocity.
He meant it.
I say. Mm-hmm.
He meant it. Brother, John Skywalker, you got anything you want to add?
Nothing I want to add. I want to let that breathe. I felt that between y'all, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's love, man. That's love.
Man, and we need more of this in our community. That brotherly fucking love.
I say, better believe it.
Love exemplified.
We need more of this.
Facts.
Okay. Well, please be advised, I am from St. Louis, Missouri, which is considered the most dangerous city in America. However, my intellect allows me to sit with these intellectuals with the dialect that is understood by the masses. I am professional and hood, so the message will always be understood, no matter what class you're in. I'm a heavyweight. Not because of my size, and your girl got heavyweight. Don't be fooled by the size, because I got men that'll put me on their plate, slop me up with a biscuit, look me dead in my eyes, and tell me they ate. I'm a heavyweight. I have conquered everything that has been sent my way. I have shifted my weight to dodge the bullshit that's coming my way. I'm out the way, but make no mistake, that energy that you sent that was no good, coming back your way. Right on time and never too late. I'm a heavyweight. Built for tough, so I cannot stray from the path that's making a way for all of us. You say in God we trust, we say we trust the God within us. That's the difference between you and us. I'm sorry. The path that I'm on requires complete trust. I'm a heavyweight, stronger than steel, yet my people's got that steel that will seal the deal to you becoming dead still. And I'm not saying it for clout. If you go back to the beginning of this piece, I done already told you what I'm about. I'm a heavyweight. I keep my burdens light like a feather. No matter the weather, we taking flight together. We some heavyweights. So before you step in the ring with us, trust and believe we already got a leg up. Head up, gloved up, chest out, going pound for pound. Ain't no clown shit in us. So before you come around, you better adjust that crown on your head. Mindset is dangerous when given the right bread. We will not be moved. Why? Because we're world tested and God level approved.
See, that's why I don't want to move to St. Louis. I can't do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Can't do it. I ain't built like that.
Oh my God.
Somebody said, there goes the feather. Done. Done.
Yeah.
Look at you. See, that's therapy right there. And I hope that was a release for you.
I've been sitting on this for a couple of weeks. I'm like,
that's an egoic orgasm right there. Egoic orgasm.
John. If John thought it was the shit, I know it was good.
I mean, the only thing you can do behind that is a Martin Luther King speech. You know? Free at last. Free at last.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very well done.
That's peace.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was. All right. Oh Lord, who wrote that?
Egoic orgasm. There you go.
Yes.
Wow. Got ink on the sheets. Wrap it up. Between the sheets. While making love.
Wow.
That was a good one.
Thank
That's what's
you.
up. That's what's up.
I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow. I'm copying Diamond. What did Diamond say? Lord, what did you say?
When?
Oh, yeah. He said egoic orgasm. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
You should feel so good after that.
Thank you. This is God level, things that people don't want to talk about. We will see you all back here next week. John, you got me?
Yes, ma'am.
Peace.
Hit that poop.